Freedom Talk. I'm super stoked to be here with Elle Griffin of Over the Moon magazine. Hello, gorgeous.
Hi! So
Hi.
excited to be here.
Oh, I was on your blog, on your website, sorry, and I've read all of your credentials, but I figured that instead of me reading everything, you'll just share everything with us.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Just let me know what you want to know.
Amazing. Well, start off by sharing with us. I mean, we're a community of entrepreneurs, whether we're just starting out or we're in the middle of our business or have totally made it, and we want to know about you. So talk to us about your journey and how you landed upon entrepreneurship, and then I want to know all about your Wicked magazine.
Yeah, so it's actually really funny because I was thinking about this recently. Like, I'm so fascinated by stories of how did you become an entrepreneur? What was your story of success? And it was just really funny because I was thinking that there's no way, like I've always said, oh, I wish I didn't go to college or like waste my time because I could have just jumped straight to this. But in actuality, I could not at all. Like when I graduated high school, I was a total mess and I just did not have it together enough to start a magazine. So long story short, over the course of 10 years, I worked my way there. But I guess the biggest step was I had a number of blogs after college. First, I had a food blog that kind of journaled my stuff through when I lived in Paris for a while and just experiences there. And then when I moved to California, I started a yoga blog. I was a yoga teacher at the time. I was also working in fashion merchandising as a buyer for American Eagle Outfitters, and I was just like teaching yoga on the side. And so then when we moved to California, I got a job as a buyer for Williams Sonoma, and I was still teaching yoga on the side and just kind of like doing my blog and all of that. But you know how blogs go. If you're writing one, it's like journaling in public, and it gives you the opportunity to really speak your voice. And the more you do that, the more you kind of realize like, ooh, this is the stuff I'm really passionate about. And so from there, I opened a health coaching practice. I went to nutrition school and studied and apprenticed under a bunch of fertility specialists and got really into women's hormonal health. And I did that for a couple of years. And then just kind of same thing happened. It was like, okay, next iteration of this. I've like had this really intense Feedly reader thing going on where, and I still have it today. If you look at like my Feedly, it's just like an RSS feed of like hundreds and hundreds of blogs that I like follow and read. And I just read them every day like a magazine. And I was like, you know, there's so many people saying all this amazing stuff. And in the end, my like whole mission in life is just to inspire women. Like, let's just create this magazine to inspire women and have all my favorite people write for it. And so I just sent out like an email to like 200 different women. And I was like, hey, will you write for this? And, you know, like half of them said yes. And we just kind of started it like 7 months ago. And now I just like now I'm in my next transition. I just moved to Salt Lake City and I'm kind of, you know, phasing out the health coaching side and not really doing that anymore. So I'm just focusing on the magazine, but it's been really fun. It's just, wow. And you know, there's no end ever. I'll just keep going and see what happens next.
I love it. And my favorite is where the divine feminine comes to play. So talk to us about that. What does that mean to you? Where do you find the inspiration for it daily? Like, yeah, go into depth on that. Cause I know I just love your energy and your essence, and it is so feminine and it's so beautiful to see.
Thanks. Well, I think that, you know, that all kind of came from reading all this stuff. I was super into, you know, and still am, like women's rituals and, you know, honoring the body and how we ovulate with the full moon and menstruate with the new moon. And there's just like this connectedness that we as women have that's so different, so completely different from the way that men kind of relate to the world and relate to God and relate to our bodies. And it's so unique. But the thing is, I was reading all this stuff and I was like, okay, so my body ovulates with the full moon. That's super great. let's look at like full moon rituals. And when you look at full moon rituals, they're like super, super intense hippie, like really like just super woo-woo style, which is great. I'm totally down with the woo, but it just looks like something that you would read on like, I don't know how to describe it. It felt really like red and uber spiritual in a way that was not like, didn't relate to me at all as a woman who both wears Kate Spade dresses on a regular basis and is a spiritual person.
Got it. Yeah.
And so, and I thought that was kind of one of the unique things about being a woman, you know, like we're not that, like most meditation and spiritual practices are actually designed for men because they're so logical and stoic, and you know, sitting under a tree meditating all day is such a great idea for like connecting with God. But like as a woman, I was like, I'm getting nothing. I can sit here on a meditation mat and I'm just like, this is so boring. Like, and then you read all these articles about people like how I'm falling off the wagon in my meditation practice, and I was just like, oh my God, like who cares? Like that's what's so fun about being a woman. Like you don't have to have this rigid practice. You can change your mind every day. So I wanted to create a place where we could kind of talk about women's spirituality, but in like a very fun, flirty, feminine kind of way that was much more relatable to me especially, but you know, women at large in the community now, and that it would be more integrated, you know, like we don't have to just sit around and talk about spirituality all day. We can like be real with each other and talk about normal things too, you know? And so I wanted the magazine to kind of encapsulate all of the parts of just being a woman and relating to God and relating to the world and being an entrepreneur and all of these aspects of inspiring women.
Oh, I love that. And you know what? It's so beautiful. And I feel that I speak to a lot of women, especially women entrepreneurs, and I feel like when we're driving our business, sometimes we are operating out of our feminine because we're multitaskers and we can, you know, change thoughts and change directions and switch things up like in an instant. But sometimes when we're driving that business where we are functioning out of our male energy. So talk to us about some rituals that you have or things that you practice, because I mean, you are a successful entrepreneur. So what are some things that you do on a daily basis to get you to tap into that feminine and that creativity and that core essence of yours?
Well, so I think the big thing is looking to other women entrepreneurs, and I've been writing this article for like a month. It's just taking me forever to comb through data, but it's about the difference between men and women billionaires. And it's been really interesting because I've been combing through all the billionaires in the world, which is like 2,000 people or something. And then of that, you know, like a quarter of them are women, and of those women, only like half of them are self-made. But I was like, this is what's interesting about once you whittle down to like that core group of women who are billionaires and who are self-made billionaires. And by the way, I don't think you have to be a millionaire by any means, but it's just like a cool barometer of success to like measure and see what's going on. Yeah. And I think what we miss is that like of the women billionaires, they're just so creative. And unfortunately, all of our business books and anything related to business is all written by men, and it's all like real estate, investment, finance, tech. It's like this very unique side of things. And it's all hustling and just working as hard as you can and like putting in your hours. And that's like so great that I was like, is that really the woman way to do that? Because when I do that, I burn myself out and I feel like I'm not actually doing a good job at my job, and I'm just stressed and like not enjoying being an entrepreneur. And the whole point of being an entrepreneur is like have fun and be able to have this like life that you want to live. And what I've noticed is that the women billionaires, they don't do that at all. Like the women billionaires are, you know, Sarah Blakely, creator of Spanx, you know, Tory Burch, designer, you know, J.K. Rowling, author, Oprah, media personality. So if you look at women billionaires, they are not hustlers. They're not just like burning the candle at both ends. Even Arianna Huffington, who, you know, founder of Huffington Post, she tried to do it the masculine way for a while and it didn't work at all, and she crashed and burned. Yeah. So for me, it's all been about like taking those lessons from those women and being like, okay, how do we design this in a feminine way? And to me, that's all about focus. And so it's kind of my mantra where rather than like just being on social media, I mean, I only have one social media for my personal, and that's my Instagram account. I don't have like Twitter or Facebook or anything. And then, so like, it's all just about focusing on the one thing that's going to be really strategic and make you, you know, have the most influence. So for me, I wake up every day and I think like, what is that big, hairy, intense thing that's going to be like super killer and gain the influence of my magazine rather than just trying to write a million blogs and whatever. Right. It's like not going to get me anywhere, you know? And that one thing doesn't take very long. It takes like maybe 1 hour to 3 hour tops. And that gives me another 3 hours of the day that I can spend writing. And that's my whole work day. You know, I get up, I just have breakfast with my husband, and then I write from 9 to noon, and then I take a 2 hour lunch break to do whatever I want. And then I work for 3 hours in the afternoon. And it's like a total of 6 hours, 5, 4, depending, but it's super focused. And, you know, it's like what they say about the work day. You know, if you have an 8 hour work day that you have to get one thing done, it'll take you 8 hours to do it. Yeah. But if you have like one thing you have to do and you have an hour to do it, you'll do it in an hour. Yeah. So the whole thing is just like focus. And so I just do my one thing every afternoon that I really focus on. And that's it. That's all that you really need to be successful.
I love it. And a lot of individuals we connect with are starting out part-time. They're building businesses part-time. And that's an amazing tip for those.
I totally did that. That's how I got started.
Right. But you were crystal clear and focused where you wanted to go. And that's how you've been able to build it up into a full-time business. So awesome. And what do you like to do for fun? I want to know. I'm curious.
Well, one of my favorite things is ballet. Oh. And so I'm really all about just like taking a lot of ballet classes, and it's like sort of my little, I don't know, it was like a dream when I was little, and then I just never did it. So as an adult, I was like, I'm going to learn how to do ballet and get on point and learn to do the splits and stuff. Oh. So that's been like kind of, and part of that dream was like, I would love to just, I don't know, have you ever seen the show Dance Academy?
Yes.
Okay. There's like a part of me that like watches that and I'm like, oh, how fun would that be to just do nothing all day but just dance ballet? Like,
I love it.
And so I take a lot of ballet classes, and I do like a lot of adventures with my husband. I don't know, we do like a lot of outdoorsy kind of things on the weekends, but I don't know. I have told you this before, but kind of my way of having fun is like, every day is like, what's going to make what's going to be Instagram worthy today?
I love
because
that.
I'm so obsessed with
Talk to us about that. Tell us about that.
I mean, honestly, even just like I'm telling you right now, I'm like, I can't even think of what's fun to me. But like when I sit down and I'm like, what's Instagram worthy today? And then I come up with something super fun and obscure and creative. And then I'm like, let's do that. So, I like, it might be going to a museum, or it might be like going to see a fun movie, or I don't know. It's just different every day. But what's Instagram worthy?
Honestly, I love that. I love that because when you're sitting there and you're like, constantly thinking about doing something that you've already done, why not ask the question, what's Instagram worthy? And then you go out and do it. I love that. I'm going to use that every day, like I said.
That's great. That's good motivation.
Oh, you're the best. And just to finish off, obviously the Freedom Project, social impact company, we're all about giving back. 100% of the profits from the sales of the shirts go to a heart-melting cause. Talk to us what freedom means to you.
Freedom to me is just the ability to really enjoy life, and that can come in many forms, but I honestly think that is just the thing I'm most passionate about, because I think most people aren't even enjoying their lives, and I think that's a main purpose, and we're all supposed to help each other enjoy our lives, but a lot of times, I'll ask like a mentoring client or something like, why are you becoming an entrepreneur? Why is this important to you? And they say a lot of the same things everybody says, like location independence. I want to be able to do whatever I want. And then when I ask like, are you doing whatever you want right now? And they're like, I don't even know what I want to do, like, except for my business. They just like create it's almost like their business becomes like their sole joy in life, or like that's the only thing that's like exciting to them because it's a project or a goal or something. But in the process, like, they kind of forget all the other things that are really fun and exciting out there to do. And so they build their whole lives around their business. And then what happens is they end up working 9 to 5 at a corporate job and then working 9 to 5 for themselves. And it just kind of, their lives stay the same. So for me, freedom is just all about that pure enjoyment. Like, I keep thinking right now of this when I was little, I used to climb this tree all the time in my yard. And we lived in like rural Oregon, and my mom would like ring the dinner bell, like so classic. And I remember like thinking whenever the dinner bell was rung, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till I'm all grown up and I don't have to go in for dinner and I can climb trees all day long. And I like remember that as an adult, and I was like, I feel like a failure as a human being, because now it's like my only enjoyment is like waiting for dinner and then like lunch and then breakfast. Like I was like, I'm getting all my joy out of working and like eating. It's just so boring. Like, I'm not even climbing trees anymore, and that's all I wanted to do as an adult. So for me, that freedom has just always been about like, okay, like, let's live passionate, alive lives as women, and let's like design that so that we are having fun no matter what we're doing for our job. Like, the job is only an enabler, but it's not like what is going to make you enjoy your life.
I love it.
You know, it's still work.
Yeah, it's so beautiful and so authentic and just as you are. And where can we find more of you? Where can we find you online? I know you said you only have your Instagram account, but what is that, so that we can get more greatness from you?
So my magazine is Over the Moon Magazine. You can find that at overthemoonmag.com. I still do mentor women privately, but that's going to take on a new form in March. But you can find more information about that at ellegriffin.com. And yes, my only social media is Instagram, and my Instagram name is Griffin Elle. So you can find me at all those places.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for being so authentic and so genuine and just so lovely. Next time in Salt Lake, I'm going to come and give you a big hug.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to hang out with you.
We'll be there in August, so I'm excited. We'll definitely plan a date.
Yes. We should host an event while you're here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a blessing.
Thank you. Truly honored. We'll talk to you soon, girlfriend.
Okay. Bye.